My soulmate, your beloved, your desired partner has withdrawn from you, and maybe there is no contact anymore, or just very, very little. And you're asking yourself after the breakup, after the end of the getting to know each other phase, whatever it may be, does he even want to have contact with you again? Is he even still considering the idea of getting back in touch with you, maybe even meeting up with you? Is there still something, is there still anything swirling around in his mind about you, about communicating with you? On the outside, it might look like, nope, there's nothing left. But maybe you feel like there's still something there, but you just can't put your finger on it. There's nothing you can grasp. And you'd really like to know. And that's what we're going to look into now. We're going to ask the collective question of whether your special someone is still considering getting in touch with you again, maybe meeting up with you, whether they even want to see you again, whether there's still anything on their mind about you. Dear ones, you know that collective readings can't apply to everyone, and the character cards are gender neutral. And this refers to your counterpart, whether male or female. Please always adapt it for yourselves. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here. Once again, we have a question from the collective, and I always appreciate it when you send me suggestions for collective questions. And of course, I'm always very happy to take those. A heartfelt, loving hug to all of you. You really are absolutely wonderful. There is so much warmth and kindness in the comments. That means so incredibly much to me. And you are a wonderfully loving addition to my life every single day. Thank you for being here. So let's take a closer look and carefully observe what exactly is happening and unfolding before our very eyes in this particular situation. The contact. I'd also like to add that when I'm so quiet while drawing the cards, this is the same during personal readings. And here as well, it's because I'm mentally focused on the question. I'm mentally asking the question. And that's why there's always this calm, because I'm connecting with the question, asking it, and then I'm guided by the energy to draw the card, the right card, or rather the card that wants to give the answer to this question right now. I know that sounded a bit silly, but it's the card that wants to answer the question at this moment. So let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. We have, well, we're starting off strong with the Major Arcana card. We have the World, and the World really shows that there's still a delay. Yes, there has been a delay up until now, no matter what. Even if you're in contact and they only reply very briefly and then there's no answer or reaction for ages. And when it comes to communication, there's a sense of isolation, the stagnation, and this delay. But that also has to do with the fact that there is a sense of distraction or restlessness within him or her. And really, this is the beginning of a journey. Let's see what else it shows us here, what this journey entails. But in any case, it's also about unity, about forming a union. So we already have a really great and promising start in terms of whether he is still actively thinking about it at all. So here we have the Major Arcana again. I always think these are very powerful energies, and I always find it beautiful. And death, please don't be alarmed. Death also shows that I actually think it's something good, especially for this question right now. Something is coming to an end here. Maybe something has also ended between you two. Yes, but your loved one, if we look at the combination now, is also in this area, the scattered energy that we still see here, because there is a loss involved. And this loss is connected to communication. But loss is also a major theme. We also have stagnation showing up with death. But what I find truly wonderful now, we have the journey, and here we see another transformation. We are in a period of transition. So this is the end of a phase. Something is coming to an end here. What exactly it is, what's really going on, we'll take a look, because there's a lot happening inside him. And yes, for some of you, you know him, you feel him, but maybe he doesn't say anything. Or you hear something from outside and it's always like, is that true? Is it not? Very important. No matter what you hear from outside, if it doesn't fit your manifestation, erase it. Don't give it any attention, because it's always this, since I keep telling you, when it comes to time tendencies, you are the captain. Time is fluid. You control time yourself. And that's always the case at this point. If you give attention to the negative, if you notice something that doesn't fit your manifestation and you focus on it, then we have another time delay. as I also like to say, we're in a traffic jam, there's construction, and now we're taking a detour, even though you've entered a destination in your navigation system. So now we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands, I also really, really like this card because here we see another change. Here comes another realignment. Yes, we have another delay. We have stagnation. We have a standstill here, but it's also like this, you're a special person. There's something they don't want to rush. Something is rumbling inside them. Something is going on within him or her, but here action is being shown. And we also have a positive development here. Realignment, action, speed. Something is happening here that may have been simmering for a long time, or where there was a snail's pace and the influence of Valerian. Let's see now what activity is being shown here. What exactly is this about, right? There. Good. We're at the topic of communication. Does he want it again? Well, his thoughts. Yeah, wow. My dears, your special someone knows that it was wrong to withdraw, no matter what it was about, whether, as I always like to call it, the instant heater, meaning I had contact with someone else here, whether it was a friend or something else. It was nothing. I want to make that clear here. It was nothing real. It wasn't right. No matter what happened in the meantime between the relationship, the connection you had with each other, and now that is completely the wrong thing. And at this point, this awakening, realizing that it just doesn't fit on the level of consciousness, because wrong decision, wrong perspectives, wrong action, wrong reaction. And here it's like he let himself be dazzled, led astray. He no longer fully trusts himself, but he's very insecure, very restless. This is shown here again and mirrored once more. We see here a massive amount of restlessness, thoughts, this uncertainty, this turmoil. If we look at communication now, yes, his thoughts are involved in this. We have communication, the communication, right? We have the break in communication or the slowing down of communication, as was mentioned earlier. The intervals are very, very long. But his thoughts are completely caught up in this area. What he did is no longer right. He's toying with the idea. And here it's really like this. I can see it so clearly. Your special someone has this thought. And I have to smile now because your special someone is in a place right now where they're also feeling this disappointment. Not disappointment in you, but in themselves. We have sadness. We really have someone here who is also experiencing the sorrow. And this has to do with communication with you, with messages, whether they're voice messages written over the phone or even meeting up, meetings at home or outside, activities, no matter what it's about. I'm not saying that he's constantly occupied with us right now. But it keeps coming back like a breeze that passes through. And then there's always the communication, because I see here the startle, the suddenness, this moment of surprise when the phone rings or a message comes in. So, as I said, it's not that he's always startled, but in a positive way, it's like briefly, is it you? Because he gets startled by that too, because then the thought of you always comes up, is that a message from you? No, I didn't write anything. Right? Yeah. So it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back into his memory. The whole thing catches up with him again and again, even messages from you. Even if he's texting or in contact with someone else now, meeting up, whatever, I see him in this area that he's thinking about it. You would have reacted differently. There would have been warmth from you. Maybe you would have brought a bit of humor into it as well. Something funny. Lightness. Because when it comes to lightness, that's completely missing for me. I don't see him relaxed at all. On the contrary, I see him having difficulties. This feeling of, oh God, what is even right anymore? What is wrong? Am I even doing anything right at all? That's how I see him here. And yes, he's toying with the idea of reaching out to you again. But what's also present here, the blockage between communication and you, which I also see here, is, let's say, small. We're now in a situation where things are speeding up, moving into action, and the previous stagnation is being highlighted again here. The stagnation that's coming up here now, that boom, I'm holding myself back completely here, I'm isolating myself from all of it. There's more movement coming in, making things lighter, so that something really loosens up here, allowing for contact again. But also what's blocking him is this. How exactly is he supposed to go about it? There we have it. And there we have complete restlessness, uncertainty. How is he supposed to do it? I see him here as very pensive, very insecure. Yeah, what can I do? What's right? What's wrong? How do I go about this now? Oh no, then he might just come out and say, yeah, hey, I still love you, or it was totally stupid what I did here. Well, it's possible that there might be a subtle apology, but I see him more as someone who tries to show something different than what's really going on inside him. So finding excuses to approach you again in a different way. So I'd say he's a bit of a rascal, but I'd say it's kind of cute, right? Of course, whether you still want that is up to you. You are completely free to decide that for yourself. But please don't hold on to this this inner emotion of like, oh, please write to me. This let go, really let go. Because I keep telling you over and over again, these are the kinds of issues. If you do this, you keep blocking the whole thing. Because when you're in this energy, you don't have it. You, this longing, writes to me, but please write. Or should I write? What should I write? What should I do? Number, let it go. Be completely relaxed. Let go of the focus. Always direct the focus only on yourself. You are important. I'm going to treat myself to something today. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. I am beautiful. I know I deserve the best. Things like that. Focus on yourself. And there, as I said, he's very unsure about what he should do. He's playing with his thoughts, and right now he feels so small. Actually, he's usually really cool and has everything under control. But right now he just feels completely small. He really doesn't know how to go about it. But he'll come up with something because I can already see him in my mind thinking about communicating. But that's what's still holding him back. How can I best do this? So I'd say based on this reading, it's less likely that he'll contact you right now and say, hey, how are you? And yeah, it's been a long time since we've heard from each other and I've missed you. No, not really. That's not really what I'm seeing here. It could also be that when you get the message again, this is possible. And we're talking about the collective, you might be a little disappointed because maybe you'll get a message that isn't all that great, where you think, what am I supposed to do with this? Either it's a mess where you're thinking, what does he actually want now? Or where you, because I see you more like this, are thinking, so what now? Just material, superficial here. What's going on now? What do you actually want from me? But that's not, I'm telling you that very clearly. That's something that sounds different than it actually is. As I said, with you, I sense a bit of disappointment from the message because you might already have hopes, wishes, maybe wanting a bit more warmth or for him to really approach you. But he can't do that. He'll give you something here, maybe like, yeah, I've decided to do this or that. I'm moving now. Or I don't know, I've accepted a new job. Or look, that thing you gave me back then, or what I gave you, do you still have it? Or, well, that would be a bit too warm now. So in any case, it's something that disappoints you a little. So something a bit clumsy, let's put it that way. Let's sum it up. Something clumsy, a bit cliched, something that doesn't really have anything to do with genuine warmth towards you. But that's because he's slowly trying to get closer. And honestly, he's a bit awkward in his messages because he really doesn't know how to go about it properly. And in this area, he really doesn't trust himself at all right now. At the moment, it's all a bit about learning to trust himself. That's also where things are really stuck because I see him as very insecure and restless here, also unstable. He really doesn't know, he lacks that stability, but he misses you. And yes, he's definitely still toying with the idea of getting back in touch with you. It's really on his mind because he's actually working out a plan here for how he could do it. So, I mean, it's not shown very clearly here, but it could also be that he tries to be somewhere you often go. But according to this reading, I actually see it more as direct communication via phone, because I see him pondering over a message. How could I phrase something? But this, what could I write? What could I write? Oh, definitely not anything emotional, anything like that. He has to do it differently. He's overthinking things here and isn't relaxed at all, but he really wants to be completely at ease. And that's it. And here we have a wonderful factor. This lightness, this activity, this quickness, everything that has taken a really, really long time up until now, I think it's taken the longest it's going to take. As I said, there's still a little bit of a block here, but he will find the solution, because I can see his determination in the connection with you, in the contact with you, and it's clearly shown here. But there's also something else that's holding him back a bit, where he feels insecure. What are you asking? So don't ask too many questions. This is just a little tip for you after this reading. Don't ask too much. Also, don't send a lot of messages right now, even if you don't hear from him. Let things calm down here. That's very important. He will write to you, or she will. And when something does come, first take a deep breath when you read the message and don't reply immediately. Let it sink in for a moment, let it settle so that you're fully centered again, because I see you might otherwise. Yes, it could also happen that you send a message back like that, or maybe even nothing at all. And then we immediately have this bit of distance again, this pause until the next message comes. But I actually already have the solution ready. I can feel it so strongly here that things will definitely start flowing again in your communication. Yes, but as I said, regarding the question of whether he's even considering getting back in touch with you, I have a definite yes here. So let's take a look. So now we have the swords here, but that doesn't matter at all. Swords are also very, very important in his process, which he is going through here. On the one hand, we have the King of Swords, and with the King of Swords, it's about having this clear thinking. Of course, there's analytical side, but he also wants to be fair. And maybe he was always a bit ruthless, arrogant, things like that. But now he's moving away from all of that. He wants to be fair now, but he's still clear-headed. So his thinking is still cool, like this, but he wants to let go of that, because I actually have much more warmth here, this warmth to approach you, and the clear thought will come. This clear thinking, the way he writes to you, how he approaches the whole thing. Like I said, it's a bit the other way around. Here we have that coldness, again, that coolness, but it doesn't matter at all. So, and now we have the Ten of Swords. And here it's like this. With this phase he's currently in, he's going to get a chance. He wants to seize the opportunity, because he really is now moving into recovery. He also wants to recover, to let go of this tension, this thought that communication is difficult, because it's already weighing on him. He wants to, but he doesn't yet know how. And this phase, the end of a phase, that's what is coming to a close. We see here once again that this chapter of the break in your communication is coming to an end. A line will be drawn under it, and it will happen quite sudden. Maybe the communication is a bit sluggish at first, and then all of a sudden it becomes warm, lightness comes in, and that is shown very clearly here. So yes, he is toying with the idea and is really devising a plan for how he can best get back in touch without it being too obvious that he actually wants to have more intense contact with you again. Even if it seems to you like, okay, it was just that one thing he wanted to know or something, and you feel a bit disappointed. But that's not the case. He just needs something to get back in touch. Dear ones, I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for watching and wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of your day. Goodbye.